Welcome to Bound by Books, a podcast of 5 authors writing across the genres in the one thing that we're all bound by, books. I'm Tina Moss, and I'm joined today by my co-host, Hannah Byron, and we are bringing to you all things TikTok.
Yes, we do. But
So Hannah, just for our listeners and our watchers on YouTube who may not know, can you tell us what the heck is TikTok?
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be because first of all, I'm pointing the wrong direction. I'm going to congratulate you on your upcoming release.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
So when is that going to happen?
So by the time this podcast comes out, which is next week, so it will be out. Aliens Captive will be out. So if you are listening, go and get it. It might even be on sale right now. So yeah, available on Amazon.
And what is it about?
It's sci-fi romance, first in series, and it is about a scientist in future Earth who finds herself on a deep space mission and is abducted by aliens.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I'm really excited about it. I love sci-fi romance, and I've been wanting to hop into this genre forever. So this is really exciting for me.
Congrats.
Thank you so much, Hannah.
Yeah. I thought we would start with that because after all, we're authors. We're going to talk about TikTok.
That's so
we are
sweet.
authors, and
Thank
we
you.
work very hard. And I know how hard you worked because next to writing, you own your own publishing business, and that keeps you on your toes anyway. So
yes, it does.
Yeah, really good. I love it. What's the title again?
Aliens Captive.
And it's the first in series.
It is the first in series. Book 2, Aliens Mate, is actually on pre-order right now. It'll come out in January. So hitting the ground running with this series.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So back to TikTok, or rather, we're going to talk about a segment of TikTok called Book Talk.
Yes. So first, but what is TikTok? Like, if I'm, have never heard of this, I'm an alien from another planet, and I come down to Earth and I hear this word TikTok. How would you describe TikTok, Hannah?
Yeah, well, it's of course it's a social media platform, as we know other social media platforms. It's a visual platform because it's about videos, very short videos, very often. The shortest is 15 seconds, but you can even go shorter than that if you want to do 7 or 8 seconds. And the longest is 3 minutes, at least for me. I mean, it depends where it's rolled out. And it started off, I don't know exactly when, but being very popular among youngsters and among young people. Funny videos. I'm not sure if the word going viral, maybe that was already on YouTube, but it definitely became very, very important on TikTok to go viral. How many views do you need to go viral?
I don't know. I think that's different for everyone as far as like what going viral is. I had a video for me. I think it hit like 150,000 views. So that for me was definitely going viral because I don't usually get that many views. That was crazy. But yeah, I guess it would depend on the size of your audience as to what would be like if somebody has 100 followers and then all of a sudden they get like 10,000 views, that could be considered going viral for them.
Yeah. So. Right. Yeah. So yeah, but it's definitely a different social platform in the sense from all the other platforms that we know that it's also a video editing platform.
That's a really good point.
You edit your videos as you go. That is definitely one of the big changes to all the other platforms. Right. But maybe you can take it a little bit on what your view is basically, or what it is.
Yeah. So if we have listeners who are in the millennial or Gen X generation, they may remember Vine. There was a platform called Vine, and it's very similar to TikTok, but TikTok has more of a social aspect. and creating community around the videos. So there's a bunch of subgenres, and Hannah and I will get into the one that we're going to talk about, book talk. But the actual platform of TikTok is very much about creating videos that are within your niche or about your life or are trending videos. And we'll talk about all of those things. But I do think at the very heart of it, it's about developing relationships and networking in a way that people may not think of on other platforms. Like I think of something like Snapchat, right? Or Twitter. It's more in the community sense as Facebook might be, where we have Instagram, where we're having these developing communities and friendships between people. And that's the thing that I really like about TikTok.
And I think I would compare it mostly to the reels on Instagram. But the big difference, according to me, about Instagram and TikTok is that Instagram is still more about the glamorous, the perfect, the shiny, whereas TikTok, although there are many filters you can use to embellish yourself, it is raw. It's more like I am who I am. And I mean, look at me, how old I am. And I'm on there, and I'm not, I mean, I follow a lady who is like 79, you know, the Holocaust survivor, and she has more than 1 million viewers, and people love her. So I think the essence and why I love it so much is because of that rawness, of that just be who you are. As you said, the communities that form around that. It's about authenticity. We've done with the slim models and the, you know, we embrace variety, everything. And that is so manifested on that platform. Do you agree?
Absolutely. I also think it's very good at breaking down barriers between people. For example, there are some very large name authors in the industry on there, like I think Laurel K. Hamilton and Colleen Hoover come to mind, who are connecting with, you know, your average reader in a way that's organic and couldn't really happen on any other platform. I think the reach and the opportunity to be able to talk to those authors and to have that connection is very real. And I love the unfiltered kind of raw aspect of TikTok and people just, you know, out there being who they are. Of course, you get some of that very pretty curated videos as well, but for the most part, I would say that the vast majority is very raw and organic, and I do love that about TikTok too.
Yeah. So it is really a platform of today, I think, and that is especially for creative people like authors, that is a great outlet as well. It gives you many more options than just on Facebook going live, or it feels more interactive. Although it's still a social platform, you know, you are commenting and you are liking each other's videos. It feels like you get a more a backstage view into the life of authors. And I really like that. You mentioned a couple of big names, but what I find so surprising about TikTok is that unknown authors can blow up there, whereas USA best-selling authors can have like 500 followers and don't, they have to start from scratch. So famous names, because you said Colleen Hoover, but was she well known before?
Yes, Colleen was.
Okay. I haven't read her book, so
But you're right. There are authors. A dear friend of mine, Shel Sloan, as like, I don't know, I want to say she's got 400,000 followers or some crazy number like that now. She started out doing these thirst trap videos, which, to be honest, thirst trap videos are not my favorite. I know lots of people like them because they're sexy and spicy and whatever, right? And they're great. They're a fun time. But she got started doing those, found her niche, created a book called thirst trap and basically built and launched her writing and author career off of her TikTok, which is amazing.
You did a little bit in the same for your Kindle Vella, or not?
Yes, that's true. That's true. I did end up writing a Kindle Vella story, which is, it's currently on hold right now as I'm getting into the sci-fi romance stuff, but it was from that viral video that happened to be about Labyrinth and David Bowie, and not something I would even usually post, but I just did it because it was fun and I was having a good time, as I tend to do on TikTok. And it blew up, and I was like, well, okay, if you really want this, I could totally write a Fae reverse harem romance. Let's go for it. You want David Bowie back? I will give you David Bowie back in the form of a Fae king. So yeah. I mean, sometimes I had zero inclination at all to write this before this happened. And then I was like, you know what? If this is what the people want, this is what the people will get.
Yeah. So so at some, when did you go on that? We talk basically in this podcast about book talk. So we are not talking about a lot of the other trends on TikTok. But when did you join the platform?
So
and what made
what made me join it? So this is funny because it was 2019 actually when I first kind of found out about TikTok, and it was because at that time I was still teaching, and I would teach middle school and high school. I was a learning specialist at the time, and my students were just all about this app called TikTok. What the heck is, I mean, you have to see this video, come watch this video, and it's showing me the most ridiculous things. But eventually I was like, okay, clearly they're on to something here. They're loving this. Let me really see what this is about. And I ended up joining in, I think it was February of 2020, but I joined Teacher Tock. So I was very much in the teacher arena. And you can see that from my very early TikToks. I was very much still about teaching at that time. And then when I left teaching in June of 2020 and kind of saw how the platform was going, I said, oh, what have I done? I'm an author. I should be on Book Talk, and kind of had to reinvent myself. So I probably should have started a completely new TikTok at the time and gave up my old account, but I was having so much fun and I loved like making those videos. I didn't want to get rid of my old videos. I kind of wanted people to see, my growth and where I was going. So I think it took me longer to get traction because of that. Because of the way that TikTok works, just for anybody who doesn't know, like any other social media platform, it works on an algorithm. And an algorithm is intellectual property of the company. So we don't know how it works, but we have kind of a clue. And the very interesting thing about TikTok is they have a main feed, which is the For You page. And the more that you like on the For You page and the more people that you follow, TikTok learns what things you like. So for example, on my feed, I get a lot of authors, I get a lot of book reviewers, I get a lot of animal videos because duh. Who doesn't like animal videos? I get mental health stuff, I get body positivity, because those are the things that I've liked. So people will sometimes say, well, don't you see, all those kids dancing on there? First of all, like that's a bad thing. Kids, you can dance all you want. But no, I usually don't, because TikTok, once it learns what you like, will show you more of what you like and less of what you don't. So
yeah.
What about you, Hannah? When did you first get started?
Yeah, I think I heard about it. Of course, I knew that it existed, but not so much for authors. And as I said before, your age is definitely that you think, oh, that's not for me. I still hear people my age or younger even, 20, 30, 40 years younger. I'm too old for TikTok. I think it was the talk on Clubhouse in the coffee chat that I sometimes join there, that I was really this rumor going on. Oh my goodness, you can sell books on TikTok. It really happens, people. And being curious about it, I wanted to check it out. And I didn't know so much what I was doing at first. I joined the platform, but I actually did, you didn't do it, but I actually did a course with two authors who were quite successful on the platform, and they taught us a couple of simple videos to make, because as I said before, it's also a video editing process, and that requires quite some skills. I mean, you get faster at it as you do it, but at first, because it is actually a three-layered process. You have the visuals, then you have text. You can upload your book screen, or you can have effects. Can have music, and you can add and switch around all this in 15 seconds.
Yep.
But sometimes, if you really make a complicated one, 15 seconds can take you like an hour to make the video.
That's true.
And I think that is one of the reasons that many people stop it after a while, because you take quite some time to find the trends to use, the hashtags to use, the right sound, and then you don't get more than 50 views, and you think, yeah, I did all this work. But yeah, so but to answer your question, I think I joined in July of this year.
Nice.
And I did a course in August. I mean, what is important is that you get to 1,000 followers as fast as you can, because then you can add your link, a link in bio, so people can. Before that, you cannot add a link, and you cannot go do a live. So I'm not by far as large as you are on the platform. I'm still slow and steady. I still have to find out a lot.
Right.
Find a mix between, because I write historical fiction. Sometimes I want to do educational stuff, but it doesn't work so well there.
You find it doesn't work as well, the educational stuff, which is so funny, because TikTok, the company, actually pushes education. They call it EduTalk or something like that a lot. Like, they really push that as a thing for people to do. So I'm surprised the education ones don't do as well for you. Yeah, but well, they are just, I think the 15 seconds or short videos are the most popular. That's true. Yeah, I would agree. So, and you have to grab their attention in these first seconds. And maybe I'm still not just good enough to do that. What about you? I find, if you make longer ones. I think for me, it's been definitely slow and steady. It looks like that I'm, like doing really well right now, and I am. I would say I'm doing much better than I was before. But I've been on the platform for a while now, so for like a year and a half. So I've definitely been a slow, steady growth. I didn't have any breakouts. I didn't have, except for the viral video. Otherwise, it's been my consistent audience, and I think that's the thing to really concentrate on. No matter what your numbers are, if they're 10 followers or 10,000 followers or 100,000 followers, is really connecting with the people that are watching and developing that community. Because after a while, you start to see like the same people comment on your videos. So you go see if they're making any videos and encourage them with their projects that they're doing. And those connections are how I feel that to enjoy the platform the most. I mean, I went on a whole retreat with a bunch of authors that I met on the platform, and it was wonderful. It was so much fun. So I think having like real connections is key for that, because you can't control how your video is going to do. I mean, you can spend hours on one video and it could flop, and then you can make one like I did in literally 10 seconds about David Bowie and have it just, take off. So and that is part of it. That is why some people get frustrated with the platform,
especially if they try too hard to be perfect or they expect book sales too fast. Because, I mean, there is a lot of rumor in the author community. Oh, yes, you can sell. I mean, there are even people saying, oh, I sell so many books via the platform. I can almost stop doing Facebook ads or Amazon ads, And if you don't have that feeling, you go like, oh, what am I doing wrong? So this comparison thing is very important. I see the platform for myself as a learning curve on what it is, the first platform where I actually feel, okay, where can I be sharper? Where can I be more me? Where can I, and how does that, you get an immediate reflection of that. And I think that is really, that's so interesting to see. You can learn a lot about yourself. And what I want to also, before I forget, want to say, it is only the only platform where old videos are still watched.
Yes, that's very true.
And that is so special because all your stuff on Instagram or on Facebook, it just goes into the recesses.
Right.
But here, people can still pick up an old video that you posted a year ago.
Yeah. And I think
it could actually go viral.
It can, you're right.
Yeah.
And I think so much too about what you're saying about comparing, right? Whether you're an author or a book talker or somebody who just wants to get into the platform for fun, right? If you start looking at your numbers in comparison to somebody else's numbers, and if you're an author, comparison to sales numbers, like that is the quickest way to kill your joy on the platform. Because for me, as much as TikTok is a marketing tool, it's fun first. Like I genuinely have fun making videos for TikTok. And I make it a little easier on myself. I try to bulk film as some creators do. So I'll film like 6 or 7 TikToks in a certain time and a certain day. And I'll do that twice a week. But then I'll just randomly also pick up my phone like I did the other night because something ridiculously funny came up on my Amazon feed. And I'm like, I have to share this with my friends on TikTok, with my followers, because I thought, this is something I want them to know. And I don't get that same feeling on other social media platforms. Like I would never post that on Facebook or Instagram. Those are more curated feeds, even Facebook. But with TikTok, I'm like, oh my God, they're going to think this is hilarious. I can't wait to share it. It's really, again, I think if you take it for being a sense of community first and fun and enjoyment first, and the book marketing second, or whatever it is that you want to market on there, I think that's the best way to do it. And not saying that you shouldn't think of marketing strategies or to think about how to hook in your audience or how to make better videos, because I think keeping those in mind will all naturally make you better on the platform. But really, see what other people are doing and what is it that you enjoy and what can you add to that community.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really discovered also my funny side. I've never I'm not shy, camera shy or anything, but it was always just certain parts that you do in a Facebook Live or on Instagram that you would show of yourself. And now, especially with the funny filters, because there are more filters than you can even see. So you sort of have your favorite filters. But today I found one with the little yellow glasses, and I thought it looked really. But I think that is one part that some really serious marketing authors would frown upon, that you make a little bit of a fool of yourself, and because what are you doing with your pink?
My pink hearts, right? I know. But now I can't stop using it. Okay, so for anybody who's listening, I have on my TikTok feed almost all of my videos now, except for my earlier ones. You will see pink hearts floating above my head. Why? I don't know. I made a video one day and people were like, "Oh, I love the pink hearts. The pink hearts are so cute." So now it's like my signature. It's like part of my brand on TikTok that I have these floating pink hearts above my head. Now, does that make me, less of a serious author? Yeah, probably, but who cares? They're fun and people enjoy them. Like I don't think a lot on TikTok about, presenting as this super serious type. I don't think that's what the platform's about. For God's sakes, they have thirst traps all the time. Authors reacting to thirst traps. Like that's every other feed, every other thing on my feed. So I think especially in the book talk community, it's not so serious. Like sometimes we do delve into serious issues, like things like having diversity in publishing, having more diverse characters, having the LGBTQ plus community represented, minority authors,
or the difficulties in plot holes or editing problems or burnout. Everything is or people saying, I don't want to write anymore because I feel like I am under so much stress, or so it but that is the whole range from funny to the content of our job. That is there. The one thing that I, from a marketing perspective, find a little bit difficult is, of course, other authors are readers as well. But because there is definitely the largest part of, we know Instagram has Bookstagram, so TikTok has Book Talk, but there are voracious readers there. The readers on Book Talk are very different from any other platform in that they genre hop, they want to know everything different. As a historical fiction author, I get questions, oh, I would like to try it, and they're fantasy readers or any, so, and they are, but the thing is, your followers, do you divide them in authors and reviewers or readers?
No. When I look at my followers, I have a pretty good split of book talkers and author talkers, right? I have a pretty good following for that. And I do try to comment back on people's, especially when they're consistently commenting on my videos. I do try to go, and if they're making videos, go and watch their videos and comment on their videos. But I am not as concerned as some people might be if my followers are all authors and not readers, because I do think you're right. I think people forget that authors are readers. Like most of the people who have gone and pre-ordered my book were authors, were other authors who just wanted, to come out and support me. And I thought that was lovely. And I don't always make that distinction between, oh, you're a reader, you're an author. No, if you're part of the book talk community, you're part of the book talk community. It doesn't
and you
really
also
matter.
don't take into account whether they write in your genre or not.
No, and that was really surprising because a lot of my Facebook friends, a lot of my Twitter friends, and same thing, not so much Instagram, but Facebook and Twitter in particular are very, very much authors in my genre, whether it's paranormal or sci-fi. Whereas book talk, you're right. I think readers do kind of run the gamut of what they read, and they're interested in learning about all of it. So it's not just like, oh, I only read, this genre. It's kind of like, oh, I'm interested in you, Hannah. I love your videos. So let me go pick up your book. That seems to be much more the mindset of a reader on Book Talk.
And what I find amazing, especially because we are still talking about younger generations that are there. But there are readers as young as 14, 13 on there, and they read like 10 books a week. But the main thing there seems to be paperbacks.
Yes.
And that is so amazing.
And they go and they buy each other paperbacks. They have their Amazon wish link wish list as a link in their bio or an indie bookstore, and others will go and do this like, book fairy drop kind of a thing where they'll buy each other books. How wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a whole new generation standing up that wants paperbacks, and they show, or if there's a giveaway and they've been given a signed paperback by an author, they are so happy to show that.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your books in the background. I'm because I had hardly any books left. I was, always on my Kindle. So we have, as authors, we have our bookcases in the background because that is, they want to see. You have the inverted filter where you can show the book and they can read the title, or you can put on the green screen and then you have the ebook on there. But they want to see the real books.
And one of the things that I've been using, because my heart's filter, so this is just a little TikTok editing tip, right? So because you can only use one filter at a time. So because I have my silly hearts filter and I want to use that all the time, I can't invert the book or I can't use the green screen, but you can use stickers. So I can put my book up, I select the sticker option and a photo, and I can use that up on the screen, and I can move it around the screen and position it where I want. So just a little editing tool. But you're right, it's so refreshing to see, especially the younger generations, to love paperback and to want print books. Like that's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So, but that is really because I make a lot of my videos because you can also duet or stitch. And if you duet and you are watching somebody else's video, then holding your own paperback in your hand, that is a kind of marketing tool that you're doing. You're just watching that other video, somebody doing something funny. Right. The best thing is if it is a little bit related to your book, but just holding the book there will still trigger that idea. But you can do that then with the inverted.
Not if I have the hearts filter on. No, I'd have to do it as a sticker.
Apparently, that is so helpful to your sales. I do see an increase in my paperbacks, and it must come from TikTok. There's no other way that I would. Of course, I have an older demographic readers, and sometimes they want paperback, so I can't say hard it is TikTok, but of course you also get reactions of people saying I bought it, I went over and bought it.
Right.
So but I agree with you. First and foremost, you must enjoy the platform, but you have to give it some time. You cannot expect to enjoy it because there is a learning curve, right? There's a learning curve with the editing. There's a lot. As I said, the stories are on 3 levels. They go very fast. There is visual, there is text, and there is something else going on. There is music, or there is a voice saying something that is either related or not related. So
it takes a little while to get used to the platform. I would say the best thing that you could do is, if you're just starting on TikTok and you want to get into it, specifically into book talk, is to follow some of the popular hashtags like book talk, like search out the hashtag book talk or whatever your specific genre is, and get a feel for what those videos are like. Then start making ones that are similar, related to your content and to your books. You can also see what the most popular trends are. There's a trend every other day on TikTok. We just have you seen Noodle the pug, Noodle Talk now?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna
the no bones.
The no bones, bones or no bones. Like, this is the newest trend. Is there's this little pug, and this guy literally picks him up. He's 13 years old, this pug, every day to see if he's gonna stand up or if he's going to fall down. And if he stands up, it's a bones day and we're ready to go. And if he falls down, then it's a no bones day and it's a self-care day. And this literally blew up from, I think he had, a couple thousand followers to 3 million followers in a matter of a few weeks. And he went on.
And everybody uses it now. If they have a non-writing day, they say I have a no bones day and they lie on the sofa and they
But that's a
just
perfect
cuddle
example of, like, things that can happen on TikTok and happen very quickly. So for that trend coming up now, where your bones or no bones, that's something that you can easily make a video of. There's a million songs that they made about it. You can use one of the trending songs. But just kind of, get a feel for the platform, see what kind of videos you like, see what are in your niche, and then jump in. Like, don't be afraid to just give it a try.
Well, one thing that I hear consistently as well, I don't want to have my face on camera because I write in a genre that I don't want my boss or my family to know. So can I make videos without showing my face? And you can.
You
They
can.
may not be as popular, but there are examples. I can't give them because I'm not following them at this moment, but I know from the course that I did that there are very successful authors. And because you have all these, there are also authors that use filters that really change their face.
Yeah. So one of the things that I like, there's a book talker that I like. She's a book reviewer, and she doesn't show her face, or very, very rarely shows her face. Usually it's her background, and she'll take a book that she's reviewing and she'll spin it so that it's the next book, and she'll show you, like, top 5, let's say, sci-fi romances, right? And she'll spin the books that she has, and she'll give little text about it and put it to fun music, and she's very successful that way, and I enjoy her videos. So there's definitely ways to do it. I will say that it is harder. If you're not going to show your face, it is more difficult because there's so much of that connecting with the audience and people, and that raw realness that we talked about before. So if you're not showing, then it is more difficult to make that connection, but it's certainly not impossible. There are ways to do it.
No. And I also, I can imagine, I've seen people go on the platform, make a profile, and then just start following people, but not uploading their own videos. That is a bit of a danger as well, because I wouldn't follow a person who has no videos or has it all private, because you feel like, I don't know who this person is, So that is, you can definitely do that for 1 or 2 weeks if you just want to. And there are people who never make videos and just like and comment on other people's videos, don't expect to be followed back. But if you want to be an active participant, I wouldn't wait too long by adding content to the so but I totally agree. It's the most fun. It's actually the first time I'm having fun with the social media platform. I do it differently from you. So I make a video every day. I started making both videos, but I feel that I wake up, I look forward to my moment of making my video.
Oh, that's
and
fun.
I also look a little bit what I'm feeling like today to do, or I go scroll through the trends, or I watch what other people. I have a selection of favorites, because you can favorite songs or spoken, and then I go through it, and it just, I do one a day. I think that is, for me at the moment, that works best. Not to do what I could improve in still is the hashtags business. Can you talk a little bit? Are you very on top of what is good to use as hashtags?
So hashtags are similar to Instagram hashtags in the sense that it depends again. So let's use Book Talk, for example, right? Some people will say, oh, always put in the Book Talk hashtag. I almost never put in the Book Talk hashtag because it has like 100 billion views on it. So my video is never going to get seen that way. So I usually concentrate on hashtags that are relevant to me. So I'll do like my name. I have an author journey hashtag, which has like, I don't know, like 90,000 views or something now, that I've been using because I have a series that I do that's 365 days behind the scenes. So I do one video every day for that. I'm up to like 270 or 80 or something crazy like that. So I'm almost done with that series. And then I'll look for hashtags that are anywhere from like 50,000 views to, let's say, 3 million views, somewhere in that range, so that I'm not a completely obscure hashtag and I'm not one that's like crazy oversaturated. So I'll look for those. I don't know exactly how much from a search perspective hashtags matter. Like, I don't think necessarily that people are going in and searching. I think it's more from an algorithm perspective, and it's about like the AI tracking onto those hashtags more so than the search aspect. So
Yeah.
that's what I would say, is to concentrate on ones that have less views and that aren't too oversaturated.
Yeah. And it's very different from Instagram, where you have like a billion hashtags that you put in the video. Because they say the sweet spot is about five hashtags.
Yeah, but that's also, so some will say 3, some will say 3 to 5, some will say 5, and some will say use all the space. I have tried it all. I have tried no hashtags. I've tried a few hashtags. I've tried all the hashtags. I can't say that it matters. For me personally, I'm in the phase where I'm using all the space, so I'm putting a lot of hashtags in. And again, I'm thinking of it from that like AI perspective. What is the algorithm tracking? Like, the little spider bots, what are they looking for? But I don't know if that's correct or not, just because there is a lot of conflicting advice when it comes to hashtags. So the only thing I could say is don't shoot for one that's like crazy oversaturated. Just
but that's in my course I learned to do book talk, the hashtag book talk, because it would still trigger that algorithm, even though yours won't be shown at the top because it's not the most popular. It will still go. So maybe not all the time, but to use it. That was the advice. So
I'll give it a shot. I'm always welcome to be wrong. That's okay.
Yeah. So I usually, I also fill up until I have a very short sentence to go with it. And I fill up the space, and I vary. I also use my own name. And historical fiction, I use it a lot. But I try to vary. Sometimes I go look into the trending hashtags, see what they are. But I think I could improve in the knowledge behind that. But then again, as you said, we will never know what the algorithms exactly do.
Right.
So it's the same with doing trending videos. I mean, there are these people that say, okay, use it now at this moment, because there are only like 15 people who have made it, but it is growing.
Right.
Jump on that bandwagon now.
Yep.
But
whether or not that works is, again, it's all, I think, again, if you enjoy that trend and it would fit in your niche, then go for it. There's no reason not to. I think doing trends are fun, and they're a way to branch out from perhaps some of your more like standard content. I would say definitely, give it a shot. But we're coming towards the end of time. So what if we talk about, Hannah, what is your favorite trend or type of book talk / TikTok video?
Oh wow. I think that's definitely having fun. So doing something crazy, or as I said, I have the serious part where I talk about my research. But I found that I may want to bring it across the foot, but the people are not ready for it, not at this moment. Maybe when I'm bigger on the platform, I can do it. So for now, just doing silly stuff, surrounded. I always surround it with my work, my books. They are either in the background, or I'm holding them, but I think when I get the comments, oh, I had such a good laugh. I don't know if you saw the one which I did about the visual manual for flirting.
Oh no!
I did that yesterday.
Oh, that's great.
He's very funny. So I was a duet. It didn't blow up or anything, but he was doing how to flirt with somebody. And I was holding my book, and I added
Oh,
little
that's so cute.
stickers to his. But I think if people say, "Oh, I had such a hard laugh on that one," or then it's okay for me that people just
Right.
enjoy it. That
Yeah.
I because I never laughed so. Yeah, of course I laughed so, but I can be scrolling on TikTok and laugh so hard, and I think, how funny can people be? Crazy.
Absolutely.
Humor is great.
Yep.
And this is the platform for humor.
It
We
is.
need humor. We need humor.
We
find
do.
the serious in this world.
Well, I don't think it's any surprise that, TikTok really took off during the pandemic, where people were just needing a laugh, needing to escape for a little while. I think it's a sign of our times.
Have you seen that trend where they sort of, somebody walks past another person and slaps their phone on the ground?
No.
I see them a lot, or they throw them in the water, and people around them go, I think it's an old phone or something. People go, oh, what's happening now? Or they throw a laptop. They just slap somebody when they walk past. Oh, I get those in my feet. They know I like humor now. So I get a lot of
like slapstick comedy.
Yeah. Or a man who touches a woman, and then it is a friend or something, and the other woman who is his girlfriend, he goes, oh!
Right. Well, one of the things I would say when we were talking about authors who or reviewers or readers who don't want to show their face, I've seen a lot of aesthetic videos where they'll take like stock imagery and put it to music, and that's like conveys the mood of the book, and some of them are so beautifully done. They're not my favorite, but I do appreciate them, and I think they're so artistic. My personal favorites are the transition videos. I cannot do good transition videos. I have tried, but the ones that they can just be all in one image, and then in the next transition they're completely different, those are so impressive to me. I love the point of view videos where the actors on TikTok or the cosplayers will give the watcher their point of view. I think theirs are so entertaining. Of course, the book reviews I love. And I just like making silly content too. I honestly love making ridiculous videos.
Yeah. And you develop that in yourself. You think, how can I make people laugh today? But still about books. It's always about books. It's not that I will just go and talk about something else or something.
Right. The only time I would say that I would talk about something else is if it's like a personal thing to me that I maybe want to share with my viewers. Like if I'm having a hard time, if I'm having a perfect example of one that did really nicely for me, but it was so genuine, is I was just having like these feelings of doubt. I was having imposter syndrome. I was feeling down. And I said, you know what? When I'm feeling this way, when I see videos of people who are being really raw and honest about how they're feeling, it touches me. So I'm going to go on there and I'm going to let them know, like, hey, I know that you like all my fun videos and I enjoy it, but here's what I'm feeling today. And the love that I got back from that, and the support that I got back was so like wonderful and overwhelming. So I would say also, like, don't be afraid to put yourself out there and to really be authentic and raw and you, because I think seeing people as people, seeing authors as people, seeing readers as people is super important too, because that's what helps us have empathy and to connect.
Yeah, and the readers really want to know about what it is like to be a writer. And I mean, they're not just interested in our books, they're interested in us as persons, and it's the first platform. I'm really where I feel that.
Absolutely.
And that is, I would recommend everyone to check it out, because it is a new, I'm glad I'm there. It makes my day on social media.
That's
Absolutely,
awesome.
It does.
Yay, I'm glad you are too, because it's fun. All right.
Okay.
How can we end any better? That's like the perfect spot to end. So if you're not on TikTok, this is not sponsored and not paid promotion, but we are saying.
And if people want to know more about it, we can or have questions that we could answer, we can always do another or show them, and you can follow us on TikTok.
You can. So I will put up those for those of us watching on YouTube. I will put up the links, our names on TikTok, our TikTok handles for Hannah and I. But Hannah, what is your handle for TikTok? Where can they go find you?
I think it's just author Hannah Byron. Let me check quickly, because I never. Yeah, it's author Hannah Byron.
So at author Hannah Byron, and I am at author Tina Moss. So really easy. You can go and follow us on TikTok.
Find us. Yep. And then you can have a look at how we enjoyed, how we made fun of ourselves and fun of others.
Yeah, because it's all good on TikTok. So thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today. Please go to our website, which is www.boundbybookspodcast.com. Find us next week, Monday, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, where we will be joined again by our other co-hosts in Bound by Books. Bye.
Wait! Before you go, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and check us out on our website, boundbybookspodcast.com.